All right, so let's talk about Squid Game. I don't know if you could tell, but the Squid Game logo means Squid Game in Korean, but you see it's a hidden 7-4. That 7-4 happens to be the Korean letter Gi, which stands for crab, and 7-4, or July 4th, is the time of Cancer, which is symbolized by a crab. Of course, July 4th should bring to mind Independence Day for America, but it's also the joint statement made by North and South Korea, and Squid Game is a Korean show. Going back to the sign of Cancer, well, the glyph for Cancer is the 6-9 on its side, which connects to the Masonic Royal Arch capstone. And not under all arches, but under this one you will find a reference to the tetramorph, combined of this vision seen in Ezekiel, also surrounding depictions of medieval art of Christ. You have the Masonic checkerboard, and above it a shield with a cross. In it you have the bull, the lion, the eagle, and man, representing the tetramorph. Now, in going with the checkered floor, you will see that in Squid Game there is a checkered wall filled with crosses. So we have a Christian theme fitting here. Well, what is the message being sent? Well, player 124 keeps his drugs hidden within a cross, and he's the first to cross the bridge. Remember that the Pope is a bridge builder. And here you see the hidden message that religion is like a drug. And to double down on this, we have the religious fanatic shaman who leads her people astray throughout the labyrinth. The message here is faith is blind.
So, I think we've been here before.
And here it comes full circle. The shaman has effectively went around the labyrinth in a circle, bringing them back to the same point of origin. And what does she find as her way out? A circle. And what does this lead to? But the very thing they tried to avoid: death. For now, I'd like to focus on player 124. Named Namgyu, which means ruler from the south, which connects back to the Masonic checkerboard in Daniel 11 about the end times. Now, the actor is from South Korea, and his previous role was in Daily Dose of Sunshine, giving a hint of sun symbolism, and we know that the Jesuit number is 201, or player 124 equals 201. Another connection to the sun symbolism is that the number 124 happens to be the 93rd composite number. Well, in the religion of the Lima, the number 93 is prevalent. For it is scientifically reported that the sun is 93 million miles away from the Earth. There we have the 93. August 29th leaves 124 days in the year, connecting back to player 124. Well, connecting back to Thelema, the founder of the religion, Aleister Crowley, was prevalent in pop culture, featured on the album cover of the Beatles, who played their final leg of their tour for their final performance on August 29th of 1966. And symbolically, you must realize player 124 died crossing a bridge, picking up a cross, while on 12/4/1950. We have a Pulitzer Prize photo taken called The Flight of Refugees across a wrecked bridge in Korea. How significant. And you'll see that the complementary dates of May 4th, the 124th day of the year, is the day that Hollywood Academy was founded. And the complementary date of August 29th, leaving 124 days, is the founding date of Netflix. And Squid Game is a Netflix series. And for your own contemplation, here are some other dates corresponding to events that are relevant to the cultures of America, Korea, and today's times. Now, connecting back to the idea of it being a Netflix series, there's another connection that Squid Game has. They released the Squid Game Challenge, a reality competition, in 2023 on November 22nd. November 22nd, a date that happens to be the same release date of a film released in theaters by the company Netflix. That film connects to Korea.
Hey, I got another tidbit for you. Free of charge if you want it. It's the Koreans behind all this.
Koreans. What makes you say that? Hey, it's a big drone dropping these everywhere. It means death to America, so we're thinking Iranians. I remember hearing something on NPR once about their cyber capabilities. Why is that funny?
Before the phones went out, I heard from a friend of mine in San Diego about a similar event, drones dropping pamphlets, except they were in Korean. Or Mandarin. Like I said, he couldn't tell which. But, seeing as he did 4 tours in Iraq, he sure would have known if it looked like that. We made a lot of enemies around the world. Maybe all this means is a few of them teamed up.
Note that in the film, we never see the so-called Mandarin, Chinese, or Korean flyers, but we do see the Arabic one. I asked ChatGPT, what does the Arabic translate to?
We draw your attention to what we say in Minneapolis. We possess the most dangerous and destructive explosives in history, and we live. You this horrifying truth so that you surrender, and we stress the validity of what the resort does in this. On your land, and we insist that attempts to stop the resistance complete surrender. To you.
Now, I've asked ChatGPT several times to translate it, and it keeps giving me a translation of Minneapolis. I'm going with that. Now, the breakdown of Minneapolis relates to several key things. Here we see that it is mini apple. And you got to think of the Big Apple, which is New York. In New York, you think of Twin Towers. Well, Minneapolis happens to be part of the Twin Cities. And though the Mississippi River splits the two Twin Cities, you will see that the St. Croix River, referring to the Holy Cross, is a tributary of the Mississippi. and it is 272 kilometers, which is the code for pi. The company Excel Energy supplies power at the St. Croix Falls Dam to the Twin Cities. Its logo looks like the 6-9 of the Cancer symbol.
The crab got that hard exterior, but he ain't really dangerous, except to another crab. Dumb as all hell. Can't even walk straight. Matter of fact, the only thing a crab is good for is holding back other crabs. A crab don't want to see another crab make it.
Yeah, I guess.
Crab is like, if I'm gonna die, we all gonna die. I admire that. We all gotta die sometimes. Might as well help each other get there.